Okay, good morning. We're up to Taf Tes Vav Amud Bet. Tet Vav Amud Bet. By the two dots, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 lines up. So he said one of the Kalim, one of the things that they were gozer was Kli Zchuchit. We said Yossi ben Yoeze ish Tzeda and Yossi ben Yochanan ish Yerushalayim. One of the things they were gozer was that there's a tumah on Kli Zchuchit, glass vessels. So the Gemara asks, Kli Zchuchit my time agazu bar Rabbanan tumah. Why did the Rabbanan make tumah for glass Kalim? The Torah doesn't speak about them being tameh. Therefore, why would the Chachamim make them tameh? Amar Rabbi Yochanan Amar Rish Lakish. Hoylu tchilat briyatam min hachol, shavinu Rabbanan kechli cheres. Since they are made from very fine, special sand, so the Chachamim said they have some sort of similarity to kli cheres, which means earthenware. Even though you make earthenware out of much coarser, regular earth, but earth, fine sand, they're all from the earth. And that's why they're all part of the earth's makeup. So since it was similar to Kli Cheres, which the Torah says is Mekabel Tumah, let me just give you a little background. Kli Cheres is Metame, very interestingly, if this was an earthenware cup, like China, well, China is a little more complicated because it has that glass, little shine on it. But let's just say real earthenware. The back of it, if you touch it, Tumah touches it, it's not Tameh. Amazing. Only in the inside. But the inside, it can receive Tumah from the inside, so much so that it doesn't have to actually touch the inside of the vessel, as long as it's within the ear space. Okay? The bottom here, see this, if I turn this upside down, you see I could really take a little, I could hold something. You could hold something. So the ear space of that also is. Wherever it can hold something, if I turn it upside down. But the back, you could put a dead person touching the whole back. It's not Tameh. Another very important introduction, one more, is that earthenware kalim, they cannot go to a mikveh to become tahor. What's the way to break them? Break them, once they're not a vessel, they're tahor. Those shards are not tahor. Mikveh doesn't help. Metal kalim don't become tahor from the ear space. What? Oh, I said tahor? Sorry. Don't become tameh from within the ear space. Impure. You have to actually touch them, inside or outside. Okay? They do become tahor through a mikveh. Okay? It's a basic introduction, and now let's go back. Glass kalim are not tameh in the Torah. They're not earthenware. That's not called earthenware. They're made out of a very fine sand, but since they are similar to earthenware, therefore, their inception, tchilat briatan, their initial creation comes from something that is similar to the earth, like the cheres. Therefore, the Chachamim said, Tumah, fine. Elamayata asked the Gemara, if so, lo tehei lahen tahara b'mikveh. Well, then if the reason why they're becoming tameh because they're similar to earthenware, so then they shouldn't have a tahara in the mikveh. The problem is, alama tanan, why then did we learn in the Mishnah in mikvaot, the 9th perek, ve'elu chotatzin b'kelim, the following cases are chatzitza, are an interpose, which means, when you put something in the mikveh, there can't be an interpose between that and the water. But if you have something that is a separation between the item and the water, so then the immersion of that item doesn't count. And the Mishnah there lists in mikvaot, teaching all halachot of mikvaot, how you immerse something. It says these are things that are chotzetz bekelim. What are they? Hazefet ve'hamor bichlei zchuchit. I don't know what they are exactly. Zefet is like tar, pitch. More, I'm not sure exactly what it is, but in what? In glass kelim. What are glass kelim doing in your mikveh? Because they're tameh. But if they only were tameh because they're similar to klicheres, earthenware, you can't be tovel them. They should only have to be broken. Suddenly we find them in a mikveh, in the Mishnah and mikvaot, with certain halachot of what is considered. If there's pitch on them, you put them in, it doesn't work. It sounds like it would work. And just the Gemara Hachamayaskinan Kegon Shenikvu, we're talking about a very interesting type of glassware. The glassware got a little hole. So now that it got a little hole, it can't be used. You pour in your water into there, it comes right out. So right now it's tahor. Why is it tahor? It's broken, it's not a keli. Because it only was tameh in the first place, or able to be mekabel tumah, because it was similar to klicheres. Klicheres, once it's broken, and really okay, once they're broken, they're not vessels. So this is not a vessel anymore. It has a hole on the bottom. What do? He dripped into them lead. Okay? Lead is a type of metal. So he stuffed up, he covered up that hole to fix the glass keli. Now the keli works again. Now the keli, the vessel, is a vessel again. Mazal tov. Now, what made the vessel into a vessel now? The metal. So the metal was ma'amid. It supported, it brought back, it sustained, it established the keli to be a keli once again. Therefore, since it's metal that's creating the keli once again, so therefore it has halachot of metal. Since it has laws of metal, now it's put into a mikveh, changes. You used to be tamei or susceptible for tumah because you were a earthenware. Then you got a hole in it, and we said, you're done. Then you were fixed with metal. So now, since the metal is what sustains you, therefore you turn into metal. Metal, now you became tamei, go to the mikveh. Oh, says the Mishnah, if there's pitch on it, it's a chatzita. Okay? And whose opinion that a little bit of metal on the bottom of the hole makes the whole thing have laws of metal? Rabbi Meir, it's Rabbi Meir. The Amar hakol olecha achar ma'amid. Everything goes after what sustains it. The Tanya, glass vessels that had a hole in them, and you dripped metal lead into that hole. Amar Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel. Rabbi Meir mitamer. Meir says that this can now be mekabel tumah because it is a metal keli. Chachamim say this can never become tameh again. Why? Because metal it ain't. Why? Because just one little drop. They don't agree with this, that it's ma'amid, therefore it now turns into that. So then why do you want to make it tameh now? Because, okay, fine, but it's an earthenware keli. An earthenware keli, that one broke already. So therefore there's nothing... now you might ask, at the end of the day, if you don't want to call it metal, call it zechuchit, call it glass, and glass is tamei d'Rabbanan. So the Mefarshim asked that kasha here. The Rishonim ask it. There's a bunch of different answers I'll tell you the simplest one. The simplest answer is Tosafot. Tosafot and Rashi's second pshat in Rosh Hashanah is that midrabanan when it says mitaharin, it means mitaharin min haTorah. And Rabbi Meir says tameh, it means min haTorah. Midrabanan, of course, the Chachamim say it's tameh, because it's like at least the kli zchuchit, which is tameh midrabanan. Okay, but here, is there any tumah deoraita? So Rabbi Meir says yes, because it has a law of a metal keli, and metal is tameh deoraita. Chachamim say it's tahor deoraita because metal. Because there isn't, the fact that there's a little metal here doesn't make it metal. So therefore the tumah is only midrabanan. They don't mean totally tahor. That's the simplest way out of this problem. There are other ways out. Let's continue. Elo me'ata, says the Gemara. Okay. So now you're telling me that a normal glass cup or bowl or vase, just think of a glass keli that can hold something, is tamei because it was similar to kli cheres. And that's why it doesn't belong in the mikveh, it has to be broken. And only in that case where you fixed it with metal according to Rabbi Meir. Fine. But if it's really an earthenware keli, then what happens if you touch it, an earthenware keli on the outside? Nothing. So then the glass cups also should not become tamei on the outside. Lo litamo megaban. Alama tenan. So why then do we have a Mishnah in Kelim, the second perek, the first Mishnah, in Kelim? Kelim is the very long masechet that deals with the halachot of the tumah and the tahara of vessels. Here, the second perek, the first Mishnah, says like this: Kli cheres uchli neter tumatan shaveh. Okay, earthenware and neter is it's made out of like white earth. Okay, some say it's other things, but let's go like that, like Rashi. Okay, so now it's not typical earthenware. How do you know it's tamei? Like earthenware, because the Torah says v'chol kli cheres. The fact that it said v'chol in the Torah Kohanim, it comes to include all types of earth, not regular earth. Even white adama is also tameh. So it says tumatan shava. They have the same type of tumah. What is that? Mitam'in umtame'in me'avirehen. Okay? Mitame'in means they themselves become tameh from the ear. Umitame'in, and they also give off that tumah that they got in the ear to other things in their ear space. Which means, let's say there was, just for, please don't get so nauseous. Imagine this was a sheretz. Okay? That was hanging in here. It's not touching. So this whole keli now is tameh. Everything. Inside the outside. Now, later on, I come with a Twizzler and I stick it over here, right over here. So then it's going to also make that Twizzler tameh. Just like it could contract the tumah from within its ear, so therefore it can also now give off anything that's within its ear space will also become tameh from it.
It has to go in its airspace in order to become that.
Exactly. Umitam'in me'achorein. And
Bottom of it.
Yeah, the bottom of it. But I just want to add one little thing. Even though it only contracted tumah from the ear, and it can give out tumah from the ear, but the whole thing is tameh now. So if I take my Twizzler stick and I touch it to the back, it's also tamei.
Once it becomes tameh,
The whole thing is tamei. But the chidush was that you can even make it without touching it. But of course,
if it just touched the
the
side.
back, it's also going to become tamei.
Oh, it is going to be? We said that
It is. Meaning, once this becomes tamei through its ear space,
Yeah, then everything's tameh.
it's all tamei.
But if it didn't,
So now if something else comes and touches the back, it's tamei.
But if it didn't go in the airspace and just touch the side, it won't be tameh.
If the initial way that this tried to become tamei was from its side, right? We're about to say that now. But before we say that, that's going to be in 2 words. Excuse me. Just trying to clear it up a little. Umetamin me'achoreim. Metam me'achoreim means, you ever see a becher, a kos of kiddush, the nice silver ones they have on the bottom? It's like you could turn it upside down and use it that way sometimes because it's a round bottom that there's like a bowl. Okay, so if that means that's me'achoreim. That's their hole on the bottom. They can become tamei within that ear space as well. Okay. Okay. Ve'ein mitamein migabehen. That's what we just said that. They can never become tamei from their back. Only from the ear space, but not from the back. Ushviratan mitaharatan. And breaking them makes them tahor. Only. Okay. So now it says like this. What does it say in that Mishnah? It says the halachot of klei neter and klei cheres. Klei cheres and klei neter, right? That's it. Now, didn't you say klei zchuchit has the laws of klei cheres? Midrabanan? So why don't you mention it? Klei cheres, neter klei cheres hu de tamatan shava. Sounds like these two will have all these laws. Avamidi achrina, but any other thing, lo. That sounds like klei cheres does not get the laws of migaban, of that they don't become. Also, Tosafot says that the question is also that little Tosafot on the left side. V'hu adin to have a matzu l'meme v'litamu me'aviran. Okay, the Gemara could have also asked that in this Mishnah it says that they become tamei from the avir, and it doesn't mention glass kalim, which sounds like glass kalim won't become tamei from the avir. So the Gemara answers like this: Amri kiven dechi nishtabru yesh lahem takana shavinu kikli matras. Wow. So the Gemara said like this: of course, since their initial makeup was through through something fine sand that was similar to kli cheres, therefore, of course, they're going to become tamei like kli cheres. However, the Gemara says like this: since if they would break, they would be able to be fixed. Okay? And it's just the very fact that they could be able to be fixed. Glass can be fixed. I don't know if we fix glass today, but in those days glass was fixed. No. Eno takana. Maybe sometimes they use the shards themselves for things.
I mean, I could crazy glue a whole plate together back with Klicheres.
Aha.
Glass.
Glass is harder. You're seeing it the opposite way. You're seeing it the other way around. I hear you asking. But
usually glass breaks into smaller pieces.
I hear you asking. Okay, let's just first try. Okay, I hear your question. I'm not sure if I have the right answer, but let's just focus for a moment on what the Gemara is trying to answer. We'll put your question on the side for a second. So what's the Gemara answer? The Gemara is answering like this. Glass can be fixed like like metal. Since it can be fixed like metal, therefore the Chacham gave it laws of metal. That what? That it can even receive tumah by the outside, touching the outside. Okay? So, according to this answer now, Rabbi Kiva Eger says, what would happen if you, let's say my hand is tameh, and I touch the back of a glass cup. So is it tameh? Yes, it's tameh. That's why it wasn't in that Mishnah, because that Mishnah said that the backs of kli cheres don't become tameh. Kli zchuchit, even though initially it got its tumah because it was similar to kli cheres, but at the end of the day, since it's able to be remade, therefore we gave it laws of metal as well, and it can become tameh from the back. Rabbi Kiva Eger says, so if it becomes tameh from the back, you could put it into a mikveh. Because this tumah is only coming because of its similarity to metal. So you can't say, yeah, you'll be tameh, but you can't go to the mikveh. If I'm tameh from the back, that means that tumah, you're viewing me now as metal. Okay? So what's going on now, as you see, is that it's a very complex type of tumah, kli zchuchit. It initially gets its laws of tumah because of kli cheres, but it also gets tumah on the back of it because of kli matris. Okay, and it's only the Rabbanan here. Okay. So let's say the zchuchit became tamei from the inside. Avatuma went into the inside. Then it's going to be very chamur. It's going to be like a kli cheres. Ein lo tahara b'mikveh ela b'shvira. The only way you could do it is if you break it. But if it became tamei from the back, well, no, it's a kula. Well, it's a chumrah that it becomes tamei, but then it's a kula that we allow it to go to the mikveh. You don't have to break it, but if it became tamei from the inside, then we're machmir and say you're tamei now because of kli cheres, earthenware, which doesn't have a tam, because there you're machmir. I agree with you halfway, but I'm saying Kiva Eger is saying now a kula. He's saying that the Gemara is telling you that it becomes tamei from the outside, which is a chumrah as well. But Rabbi Kiva Eger is saying now that once we have that chumrah, now it also gets the kula of metal, which allows it to go to the mikveh, and you don't have to break it if you want it to become tahor. Amazing, no? So the Gemara says, so you're telling me that because it gets remade, I don't know the answer exactly what you're asking. It seems to be opposite. Okay. Put it on the side. But the Gemara is saying that glass gets remade, which is similar to metal. Therefore, it will become tamei from the outside, like metal. The Gemara says, oh really? It's so metal-like? So elame'ata yachziru l'tumatan yishana kichlei matchot. So let it also have the laws of metal, of tum'ah yishana, old tum'ah. What's old tum'ah? What happens like this. If you have metal kalim that were tamei, you have a nice kos of kiddush. In Yiddish we call it a becher. You have a becher, you have a kosher kiddush, what do you call it? The kiddush cup. So it's made out of metal, it's silver. It breaks. Now, before it broke, it became tamei. It was tamei. So, okay. Then it breaks. And now you fix it. The halacha is that it goes back. Now, when it breaks, it's not tamei anymore because it's not a vessel. But when you fix it, it goes back to the old tumah. Okay? So, therefore, the Gemara is saying, let glass cups, okay, be the same thing. And you're going to say, no. Glass cups are only tamei because they're like earthenware. Not so fast anymore. Because you just told me that they become tamei on the outside. Why do they become tamei on the outside? Because they can get remade. Aha. So in regards to that, you compare them to metal. So what happens if they are remade? They were tamei, the glass cup, and then they got a hole, and then you fix them. So now they should go back to their old tumah. So maybe you'll say, okay, I hear that. Maybe they are, but the problem is the Tanan we learned in the Mishnah in Kalim again. Klimatchut pshuteyen umikableyen tamein. Pshuteyen means flat kelim that don't have a beit kibul. They don't have anywhere to hold something. Okay, so you have a glass, imagine this, a glass flat plate. Has no borders, it can't hold anything. So a plate usually has like a little bit of a border maybe because it goes down. Yeah. So just think of a glass cutting board. Thank you. Perfect. That's pshuteya. Now, did I say glass? Sorry, it says klimatchot. Klimatchot. Metal. Okay, a metal flat thing. Pshutein umikablein tamein. They become tamei. Okay? Now, earthenware, the halacha is it has to be able to hold something. Metal doesn't have to be able to hold something. As long as it's a vessel, which means it's not a good word for it, vessel. It's more like a utensil. I can use it for something, so even if it's flat and it can't hold anything inside of it, it's still going to be tamei. That's what the Mishnah, unlike earthenware kalim. This is another new halacha that we're saying here. Nishberu, if those metal utensils, it says mikablein also, mikablein pashut, if it holds something, right? Nishberu, if they break, taharu, they're tahor. Because where's the utensil? You see a utensil here? No, there's no more utensil. Utensils are what is tamei in the Torah. Chazar ve'asamehen kelim, chazul tumatan yeshana. If you remake them back into kelim, they go back to their old tumah. This is a din d'Rabbanan, by the way. That their old tumah suddenly comes back. Tchiyat hametim, resurrection of the dead, of the old tumah. So the Gemara says, but the ilu gabe is kleis chuchetinan. But another Mishnah in Kalim, the same Mishnah we mentioned before in Kalim, says that in regards to glass Kalim, kli etz uklei or uklei etzim uklei zchuchit pshutehen teorin, wood Kalim, leather utensils, bone utensils, and glass utensils, if they're flat, tehorin. They're tahor. Okay? Because the Torah actually compares wood and leather and all these to a sack. There is a sack is a sack in the Torah. Okay, the Torah puts them together with the case of a sack. Now a sack by definition is something that holds something. And therefore, all these in the Torah need to hold something. Therefore, pshutei and tehorin. Therefore, they're flat, they're tahor, because the Torah says they require a beit kibul, umikableihen, but if they're able to hold something, they have borders, tamein, they're tamei. Okay? So far, we don't see anything yet. But listen to the next line. Nishberu, if they break, taharu, they're tahor, of course, because now they're not a vessel, they're not a utensil. And here's the key to this. Chazar ve'asamehen kelim. If I go and remake them into kelim, mikablim tuma mikanu le'aba. They're not tamei. They're only mikabel tuma from now on. Mikanu le'aboin lemafrei lo, says the Gemara. But retroactively, they don't go back to their old. Now, if you're telling me that the reason why glass kelim are tamei on the back is because you can remake them just like metal kelim, which you can remake, right? So then let them have the halacha of metal kelim. Then midrabanan, they go back to the old tumah. The Mishnah says they don't. Okay? So the Gemara says, tumat kli zchuchit drabanan. V'tumah yeshana derabanan. There's too many derabanans going on, says Gemara. The whole zchuchit in the first place is only made up by derabanan. And the old tumah is derabanan. So that far they're not going to go, says the Gemara. So, bitumah deoraita, with kelim, that their actual tumah is deoraita, is min haTorah, achitu barabanan, tumah. So the Rabbanan descended upon it. Achitu means like they brought down on it. They affected it. They decreed upon it. This tumah yeshana, a metal keli, a kiddush cup, a cup for kiddush is made out of silver. Since its tumah is the oraita, therefore the Chachamim said, look, even if it breaks and now it's tahor, if you refix it, not only will it become tameh from now and onwards, but it will go back to its original tumah. Because all we're doing is decreeing one tumah, because initially you were something that was tameh mid oraita. But tumah d'rabanan, lo achitu l'rabanan tumah. But something that its initial tumah is only d'rabanan, like metal, like glassware. The Chachamim are not going to go and now put another tumah on it, d'rabanan, which is the tumah yeshana. Okay? So the Gemara says, okay, fine. So we're not going to go and place another tumah d'rabanan. So you got it? So let's just say it again now. Earthenware becomes tamei midoraita, right? But now kli zechuchit, which is similar to earthenware, gets the halachot of earthenware, and it becomes tamei midrabanan like earthenware. They added a chumrah, since it can be remade, it was similar to metal, that will also become tamei from the back. Rabbi Kiva Eger says you can now put it into the mikveh. That's the way it became tamei, from the back. Okay, but they didn't now add tumot derabanan to it. Only deoraita, that if you touch it from the back. But now a derabanan, that if it breaks and it gets remade, it will get back to its old tumah, because that itself, even by metal kelim, is only a tumah derabanan. So that much they're not going to do to a glass keli that broke and was made again. So the Gemara says, okay, but pshutei and mi'ali tameh. Da pshutei klimatcho deoraita ninu. But if you want to compare it to glass kelim, we want to compare them to metal kelim, and that's why you said, what did we say before, that they're tameh on the back? Then the pshutei, and pshutei means flatware, flat glassware, like a flat glass cutting board, should be tamei midrabanan like metal. Metal doesn't need Kabbalah, minat Torah. And you want to tell me that this becomes tamei in the back because it's similar to kli matchot, to metal kalim. So let it also be similar to metal kalim. And midrabanan, the flat glassware, should become tamei like metalware, because by metal, flat metalware is tamei midoraita. So the Gemara answers, it's a very good point, but they purposefully, avdi behu Rabbanan hekera, the Rabbanan actually made it tahor. They said, we're not, well, they didn't, actually, the best way to say it was, they didn't make them tameh. They said, it will not be exactly like metalware. Why? So that, because if they do, then people will actually think that they're tameh deoraita. Okay? And if you think they're tameh deoraita, what are you going to do? If terumah touches the flatware, okay, or any klei zchuchit that is tamei, any klei zchuchit, not only flat. If this was glass and it touches terumah, the terumah is only tamei midrabanan. Now, tumah derabanan, we don't burn unless it's those 6 cases that were they're very machmir. Okay, the Chachamim were very machmir on those 6 cases that we had yesterday. Al shisha svekan sofinet atruma. Okay, fine. The gusha from the Eretz Am, all those cases. Safek, roik, meraglaim, all those cases that we had yesterday on the daf. But any other type of tumah derabanan, the Chachamim say, if it touches terumah, it ruins it midrabanan. We're saying it's ruined, but we're not going to actually tell you to go burn the terumah because minat Torah it's not really tameh. So tolin, don't eat it. It's tameh, and because terumah that's tameh, you're not allowed to eat. But don't burn it either. Now, how are you going to know that? How are you going to know that about your glassware? Your glassware is only derabanan. You're going to forget that it's derabanan. Everybody's going to know that glassware becomes tameh. So one day, if this is glass and it touches and it's tameh, and it touches terumah, you're going to say, "Oi, we have to burn the terumah." How are you going to remember that you're not allowed to burn the terumah? So they made the glassware a little bit lighter than regular tum'ah of metalware, so that reminds you that it's only derabanan. What they say? They said, "Pshutei and tehorim." It's not going to be exactly like metalware. So you shouldn't burn korbanot and terumah if they become tameh with the glassware. Okay? Ma 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 Hashem yoin yoin yoin. Okay, so now the Gemara is like this. Ravashi Amar leolam likricheres damo. Says Ravashi like this. Really, the truth is, he has a whole different way of looking at glass. He says it's really compared to earthenware. Okay, and they're not similar to metal at all. And the reason why, therefore, now you can understand why if they're flat, they're not tameh, because they don't have halachot similar to metal. Oh, if you ask me, lo l'tameh b'gabon, so why are they not mentioned in that Mishnah with kli cheres and kli neter? And we were able to infer that they actually become tameh from their back. That's similar to metal kelim. He says it's not because they're similar to metal. Forget metal. Nothing to do with metal. Not because they get fixed, which is similar to metal. Do they get laws of metal and they become tameh in the back? The reason why they're only similar to earthenware. So if they're only similar to earthenware, they shouldn't become tameh in the back. Just like you said, they don't become tameh when they're flat, like earthenware. The answer is, since they're glassware, so therefore the back looks like the... So if you touch something to the back and you're looking at it, it looks like it's inside the cup. That's the way some Rishonim say it. There is no difference between the back and the front, in the middle, in the inside. Therefore, we look at everything as if it's the inside. So it's interesting that really it's being compared to only earthenware, but it's becoming more chamur than the earthenware itself. But it's because it's transparent, and therefore with inside, outside, it looks all the same. And therefore everything, they gave a law to everything, even the back, like it's inside. Okay? Like, a kid could do a trick on somebody else. He goes like this. Where's my finger? Like from far away. You stand on that side of the room, I stand on this room. Is my finger in the cup or on the back of the cup? Okay? Fine. View it like it's inside the cup. Okay, now let's go back. The Gemara says, Shimon ben Shatach tiken k'tuba leisha v'gazat tumal klei matchot. Yesterday we mentioned that Shimon ben Shatach, he was mitaken a k'tuba for an isha, and he was gozer tuma on metal kelim. So the Gemara says, kli matchot deoraita neno. Metal kelim, he decreed tuma. It's minat Torah, dechtiv. When they took revenge on Midian, and they fought a war, and then the booty, it says there, what do you do with them? With the gold and the silver, the iron, the copper and the iron, and the lead. The only way to purify it is in the waters of the Nidah, which means in the mikveh. So you see that if they need a mikveh, obviously they can become tameh. So the Gemara says, Lo nitzacha, you know what it means that he was gozer? El tuma yeshana. The Amrav Yehuda Amarav, Shimon ben Shetach said that if you fixed a keli that was tamei, if it was a metal keli that was broken, so now it's not a keli and it's tahor, and now you remake it, they go back, like we mentioned a few minutes ago, to the old tumah. We said that that's the Rabbanan. He was the one that made that tumah the Rabbanan. And when did this happen? It happened, the Amrav Yehuda Amarav, Maaseh b'shel Tzion HaMalka. Tzion HaMalka was Shimon ben Shetach's sister. She was married to Yanai HaMelech. It's a very unfortunate story over there. Remember, anyways, she was the queen for 10 years after her husband died. And she was making a wedding. She was making a big party, a wedding for her son. They had a problem. That they were in the same room as a met. And all of them became tameh. Now, she can't use these tonight because everybody was very careful with tumah. So what you're going to do? The wedding is tonight. The only way to purify kelim that were in the same room as a met is they need to have efer para on them, right? From the waters of the ashes of the red heifer. The water that has the ashes of the red heifer has to be sprinkled on a person or on vessels 3 days after they become tamei, and then on the 7th day after they became tamei, and then they go into a mikveh, and then they're pure. The problem is the wedding's tonight. What are we going to do? So what she did was, she did something very smart. Shvaratan, she broke them. Shvaratan, untanatan latzoref. She gave them back to a smith, a silversmith. Viritchan, and he attached, right, metal pieces back to where they broke. So now they're tahor because they're broken. She made little holes on the bottom. Broken, tahor. She sent them to the guy and she said, fix them now on the bottom. So the Chachamim said, her brother actually, Shimon ben Shetach said, all right, we're being gozer. These are tamei. Which tumah? They're brand new. The old tumah that they had on them. The question is, why did he do that? My tamah, mishum geder mechatat naguba. Because people would do this all the time now. And they would never go back to the tahara of the real way, of the waiting of the 7 days. Why do I have to wait 7 days and go through this whole thing? Make a little drill, a little hole in the bottom, then refill it. Everything's great. So therefore, they said they don't want to forget the halachot of the Torah. And therefore, you see how great the Chachamim were. Can you imagine? Her brother is ruining her wedding tonight. He can't wait till tomorrow morning? No. Because this doesn't even exist. He has to make the takana now. He does it. Why? Because he's worried about safeguarding the halachot of the Torah. It's amazing. So the Gemara says, Hani chlamad amr lo d'chol tumat amru el tumat hamet bilvad amru shapir. Amru then shapir. According to the Manda Amr that says that the Tumah Yeshana is only on Tumat Hamet. When something became Tameh because it came into contact with a dead person. That's very good. Good answer. That's why he did it, because people are going to forget about the real way to purify those kelim with the ashes of the Parah Aduma. But according to the Manda Amr that Shimon ben Shetach made the Gzeirah with the Chachamim, even on all tumot. Now, I thought the reason is because you shouldn't forget the purification process of the Parah Aduma, of the red heifer. But if then they wouldn't have made it on all tumot, my ikalamema, then what's the reason that he made it? Amar Abai Gzeirah Shema lo yikavenu b'chtei taharato. Okay? Because the halacha is like this. That you need a pretty big hole in a vessel. Okay? What's the hole in the vessel? The hole has to be the size of a pomegranate. If I have a big basket made out of metal, okay, and a little hole happens, so, okay, big deal. I could still hold fruits in there. And even if there's a hole the size of a grape and the grapes are going to fall out, but the shiur is, the Mishnah says in Kiddush, it has to be the size of a pomegranate. Once pomegranates can't be held in there, so then it's tahor. Okay? But we're worried that if we tell people that the simple way is you just drill a hole and then you remake it, by all tumot, not only tumat met, that people are going to do that and they're not going to make the right size holes. And therefore he said, if you make a hole and then you make it, it goes back to the original tumah. You didn't gain anything. Oh, you didn't gain it, then we're not going to do it. Okay? People are going to say, oh, I saw in the morning that this cup broke. Sorry, that this cup was tameh. Okay? Remember this morning by breakfast, this cup became tameh? Yeah. I come to your house later on in the afternoon again for lunch. I see you drink it. So I'm going to see you drink it. I'm going to say, oh, he must have went to the mikveh, put it into the mikveh, and came out, and now he's using it with tirumah. So now I'm going to start thinking, oh, I just saw you, a great rabbi. Must be that putting things into a mikveh when they're tameh and taking them out, even on that very same day before the sun goes down, you can already touch it to tirumah. So that's not halacha. Now the reason why the guy was doing it is because he made a hole in it. And he remade it. So it's totally tahor, it's a brand new cup. But you're not going to know that. You're going to think the reason why he's allowed to use it again is because he must have gone to the mikveh. And people are going to say that mikveh works on that day, very same day. And the halacha is it does work 99%, but it's a tvul yom. And there's still some residue left over, which doesn't allow you to use it with kadashim and with tirumah. And people are going to say that people are using it with tirumah, they're going to think that mikveh is good enough. So the Gemara says, what's the difference between Abaye's reason that people are not going to make a hole that's large enough, and Rava's reason? My beinayu, says the Gemara, Ike beinayu tiratzfinu mitzaf. Okay? If you totally broke them, okay? You break it totally. You smash it. And now you remake it. So now when you remake something that was totally smashed, what is it going to look like? It's going to be, everybody's going to know that they look like brand new kalim. Okay? So therefore no one's going to think that you went to the mikveh with that. Everybody's going to say, oh, the reason why the guy's using it with terumah, look at that. Look how many spots are broken and remade. It's going to be very clear that it was remade. Therefore, he's going to know that it was remade. It didn't go to the mikveh. But according to Abaye, the reason is that people might not make large enough holes. So even if, in a case where you broke the whole thing, you still can't use it. It's still going to go back to its old tumah. You know why? Because you're still not going to know, and once in a while you'll make a very small hole. Sometimes you won't smash it. So
the whole thing is broken.
No, in this case it's broken. You happen to break the whole thing, but that doesn't mean next time you'll break the whole thing. The point is that if we allow people to do this, which really works min Torah, and we don't bring it back to Tumah Yushana, sometimes they'll make small holes. So just because this time you made a large one, okay? However, according to Rava, where the worry in this cup is not going to ever happen. The worry is that people are going to see and say, oh, it went to the mikveh. No one's going to say that. Therefore, you can use it. Okay. Now the Gemara wants to go back to the 18 Gezerot that Beit Shammai and Beit Hillel spoke about in the attic of Hananya ben Garon, Chizkiah, right? Ben Garon. And we already went through 9 of them. Okay? So the Idach Mahi, what are the other ones? The Tanan, says the Gemara. Okay, we're going back to the attic there. Hamaniach kelim tachat hatzino lekabel behem shamim. Okay? You place kelim under a pipe. Now that pipe doesn't have anything inside that can hold water. So it's not a keli. So therefore the water that passes through is not shuvim, it's not drawn water, which would be pasul. Okay? Now, you want this to fill up with rainwater. Where's rainwater going to fall from? From the pipe. When it rains, it's going to go through that pipe. So I put it on the bottom, on the floor. Now the rainwater is going to go into it. Echad kelim gedolim, echad kelim tanim. Even if they're tiny cups, okay? Even if there are stone cups, which are not mikabel tuma. Uklei adama, uklei glalim, also earth cups. Earth cups are also not mikabel tuma. You can say, what's like earthenware? Earthenware is only when you made earthenware, which you put into a furnace. Klei adama means you take earth and you just clump it together and then you hold things with it. Uklei glalim, and utensils that were made out of the glalim of the waste of the animal. All of those are not considered, they're not mekabel tumah. Okay? Poslin et hamikveh. Now the water falls into them. That water will disqualify a mikveh, which means if you keep pouring it and you get to 3 lugin, remember we said the Gardim from the Beit HaAshva, they said that even 3 lugim of Mayim She'uvim, because they learned Torah, 3 lugim are 18 eggs, the volume of 18 eggs worth. Okay? If you pour that water into that's She'uvim. Okay? Because it's drawn. Whether these things are Mekabel Tumah or not, it's drawn water. Whether you put them there purposefully or whether you forgot your kelim under the, you didn't really want to fill them up with water. But now that they are, I'll use them to make a mikveh, and I pour them into my initial 40 sa'ah. It disqualifies the mikveh. Divrei Beit Shammai uBeit Hillel mitaharin b'shochech. Beit Hillel says, since I didn't really want to draw them, they're not called drawn water. Okay? So if you forgot them there and they filled up, that's not going to ruin a mikveh. Amar Rabbi Meir, Nimnu. The Chachamim counted. V'rabu Beit Shammai Beit Hillel, and they were more, they were in the majority. And therefore the halacha was established by Beit Shammai that even if you forgot them there, it's going to be tamei. Umodim Beit Shammai b'shochech b'chatzer. And Beit Shammai is modeh that let's say you forgot your kelim in the middle of your yard, not under the pipe. Okay? And then it rained, shehu tahor. Because the Yachid. The koach of the Yachid is like the Rabbin. Okay? Now, the truth is that you have to really want to draw something for it to be drawn. But according to Beit Shammai, the Chachamim said, even if you don't want it to be drawn and you forgot it, the Chachamim, that was one of the Gzeirot that they said, will be considered drawn. But they're going to be modeh that if you left it in the yard, shehu tahor. Why? Because there, it's clear that you forgot them, you didn't really want it. Okay? But if you left them under a pipe, then what does it look like? It looks like initially you wanted it. Maybe now, okay, then you forgot them there. Okay, fine, you forgot. Yeah, but now I don't want. I forgot that I don't really want. Okay, but it doesn't look like that. But if in the yard, it's it doesn't seem, you don't see that he wanted them to fill up. Okay, and therefore, taho. Amar Rabbi Yossi, adai machloket b'mkom omedet. So Rabbi Yossi says, no. Beit Hillel never retracted. And according to him, according to Rabbi Yossi, this is not one of the 18 things. That machloket is still going on. The 18 things, the Mishnah said, they counted. It was made. That's it. We go like Beit Shammai. Rabbi Yossi says, no, this is a real machloket between Beit Shammai and Beit Hillel. It's still going on. Amar Rav Meshashe, the Beit Rav Amri. In the Beit Midrash of Rav, they said, "Hakol modim k'shinicha mishat kishuravim tmeim." Everybody agrees if you place them under the tzinor when it was a very cloudy day, and you thought it was going to fill up, and then the clouds dispersed, and okay, so I forgot them there. Forget about it. It's not happening. I forgot them there. It turned sunny, and I said, "Oh man, I wanted to fill them up with water. It's not going to happen today. Whatever. Okay, let me go back to my work." And he goes back to his work, and then he gets lucky, hits the jackpot. It gets cloudy, and it rains into them again. But he forgot them there. Tameim. Everyone agrees that they're tameim, because my initial placing was with my kavanah that they should be filled up. Bishat pisur aviv divrei hakol torin. And if it was a very bright, sunny day, everyone agrees that even if they placed them underneath the pipe, that's where I put them down, it's clear that my actions weren't to fill them up because it was bright blue, the sky. The only machloket is when you put them down under the pipe when it was cloudy. Vinit pazru. Then they dispersed, it became sunny. The chazu vinit kashru. And then they got cloudy again. Okay? Then Marsavar, I actually think the way I said it before, I said it was cloudy and then it got sunny again. It wasn't cloudy and it got sunny. When I said everyone agrees it was cloudy and it remained cloudy. But I forgot about them there. I wasn't thinking about them anymore. Everyone agrees that that's a problem. But what about if it was cloudy, then it became sunny? This is the way I explained it before, but now I'm saying that the Gemara is saying that is the machloket. It was cloudy, it became sunny, and now it became cloudy again. The Chazur bin Kashu, Masav batla machshavto, or Masav lo batla machshavto. Okay? Beit Hillel says, whatever you thought about at the beginning is gone. Since they dispersed, so that thought is already out. So now that it becomes cloudy again, you don't bring it back what he thought originally. But Midrabanan, Beit Shammai says, no. It's considered like I go back to my initial. But according to Rabbi Yossi, that says that this machloket is still in place, so he doesn't want to count it as one of the 18. So Batzi Lehu Chada, you're going to be missing one. Whatever, right? We're going to go through the rest of them right now. But this one you can't count, so you're going to be missing one. They were gozer that benot kutim, the daughters of the kutim, okay, which were a nation that came from Ashur to Eretz Yisrael, okay, and they converted, and there's a big machloket Tanaim, if their conversion was a good conversion or not. And the Gemara is saying that even if you consider them, according to this Gemara, they were converted, but they did not keep the mitzvot properly, many of their mitzvot. Now, did they keep the Isur Nidah? That a woman who sees a discharge of blood is Tameh? They did. But they said that a little baby girl that sees Tumat Nidah, blood, She's not Tmeah. That the Kutim didn't keep. And therefore they said like this, since they're not going to keep it, and they're not going to keep those girls away, and this and that from all the things, a baby girl, 1 day old, Me'aris Setam, they're ready, considered Nidot. That was, they were Gozer. Bo Bayom Gazul, on that day, they were Gozer, this Gzera. Okay? Even though most of them don't see. Okay, when they're babies, but we're worried about the minority. That's our mayor's Shita and Shas, so we're always worried about the minority. And therefore, they're going to be Tameh. Chazak Baruch. Okay, we have to get...